Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back there, daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the entire crypto market. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, for the most part, I have been watching Bitcoin closely. We do see Bitcoin dominance kind of trailing down a little bit. We're going to be addressing this. We're also going to be looking at Ethereum and a few of my altcoins, as you guys do know. On the 24-hour span, we are seeing some nice moves throughout the altcoin market. Specifically, we are seeing, some OG legacy assets, starting to pop off. We also see SNX or synthetics, moving up about almost 9%, up 34% on the 7-day span. And this is going to continue. We're going to see a lot more price movement throughout the altcoin market. We see massive figures on the 7-day span. Obviously, when we are talking about, alt season moving in, I do think that we are very, very close to that point. And let's talk about why. So first, I do want to show you guys the altcoin market cap chart. This comes from Bitcoin Fuel. So again, when we are talking about the altcoin market cap, I am watching things very, very closely. This chart is actually showing us that we could be seeing, anywhere between this like $3.8 trillion level to about $8 trillion in terms of market cap. This would be absolutely massive, but this is in a same structure as 2017 and 2018, which I have been warning you guys ahead of time. So, right now, when we are talking about the current structure of, alt season, we are ready. We are ready to go. It's just going to be a little bit of a slow ride up, though, and it could ultimately lead us to around the fall time frame of 2022. So pay attention to the time frames here, specifically going all the way back to 2017 and 2018, which really started and didn't end until around 2018 exact. So if we are looking at this, this could lead us to possibly, 2023. Could be before 2023. It all is how the market looks. Now, in terms of the total 2 that I am watching right now, we actually see that we are rejecting slightly off of that 702 level. I told you guys to watch this closely, but we are seeing some nice support being grasped here on, of course, the it's like around like the $1.16 trillion level almost. Now this is not a significant overall, I would say, support zone. It's more so us coming down to test that 10-day EMA. But ultimately, I do believe that we will see a nice move from here. The last time that we've seen the RSI do a similar move to this, though, was back in November before we had this nice little drop in price. But I'm not, looking at that in the idea on, hey, we're about to see a massive crashing point throughout the altcoin market. No, I just believe that when we are talking about the current structure of course, the total 2, I think that we're going to see a little bit more of a spotlight on Bitcoin until we do see a major move throughout the altcoin market, which is why I say to watch the path of alt season and try to, secrets of crypto here. But here we have the path to alt season is starting again. Phase 1 is money flowing into Bitcoin, followed by, of course, altcoins. Now, if we are talking about this, we do want to see a Bitcoin season first. This is also why I said, I am watching Bitcoin closely. We are seeing that nice retest of a support zone on Bitcoin. I had this level at around like 45.2K for a while now. This is to test that, August demand. As you guys do see, this is going as far back as like that August time frame before we kind of, went off. There is a lot of support around this area for the September lows too, but realistically speaking, I think that this is a major demand zone. This is also significant resistance. So if we could just test this support zone and have a strong bounce off of this to really kind of break up above that 48.6 level, similar to, I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So here we have that resistance tap, followed by, of course, that support drop, which would most likely lead to a nice impulse above, resistance. If we could break out of this resistance, we will, target some high figures. And the next fib level would be around that 55 point, roughly 1K zone. And if we do see a rejection off of that, we'll most likely come down and test some support. That support will most likely be at around like 53K ultimately. So I'm watching Bitcoin very closely here. We do see the RSI is retesting the moving average. The last few times that we have tested this, we have broken down from it. But similar to the October timeframe, check this out, right? Here's where we, broke above it and really kind of crossed it in a bullish divergence. Right now we're doing a bearish, cross. But I will say this, I really am watching this October timeframe the same that I am watching for Bitcoin currently, because I do think that we are in a same sort of pattern basis for Bitcoin. Now, of course, on the next major impulse on Bitcoin, it should be our wave 5. If we're talking about the significance of that, I think that we will see, Bitcoin dominance go on a tear, followed by a rejection off of those tops. Now, are we, waiting for this to actually have, a major drop off of, where we currently are to a nice, support zone before we have that impulse up? Yeah, I mean, ultimately we could do two things. We could do what I have on the chart now, which is either a tap of 45 to 47%, followed by a correction. Or we could have that, sort of corrective basis off of resistance come down and test support. That support could either be, going back to June, or it could be going back to, the September-October timeframe. So somewhere between like 39.55 or even at the bottom of this at around like 39%. It all depends on how low we actually go. We don't have to go as low as these candles from January. We could just come down and test significant, support at around like this 40 to like 39% zone. But this will ultimately lead us to, again, tapping one of these resistance zones, followed by that major correction to bring us to alt season. And of course, the low from 2017, 2018 is that 35% zone. So I'm watching Bitcoin dominance closely as Bitcoin is kind of ranging here. I am watching the dollar. I think that this is playing perfectly into my pattern basis. I told you guys this. It was, I think, around the March 29th day where I said that we're probably going to see a rejection off of this resistance zone at around like 99.35. Bounce off of this nice support zone down here at about like 97.7. Hit some resistance yet again up at this, like, I think that this is the 702. Let me check if this is, yeah, the 702, which is 98.87, which will come down, test, some support at around like 95, and then followed by, one major tap again of support, or I should say resistance, sorry, before finding that support zone somewhere down here at around like the 92% level, or 92 level, sorry. Again, clear, cut and dry, nasty correction for the dollar. I think that this will, send it on a multi-year bear market, similar to what we did see from, 2020 all the way to around the day of major impulses of 2021. I think that this is going to be very bullish. I'm watching the structure play out. Again, an invalidation would be a break above this resistance zone at around like 99.4. So that's what I'm watching for closely. And we don't need to see a break above that. All we really need to see is a break above 98.88 to test that resistance zone one last time for that to be invalidated. So I'm watching this to see if it's going to be a validated move or an invalidated pattern. I will keep you guys up to date on that. Now, the 10-year bond is making some nice, support at around that 10-day EMA level. You guys do see us kind of settling on it just slightly before, having that nice strong bounce. I'm watching this closely again because every single time that we have crossed in terms of the RSI and moving average, we've seen a major, correction. It's much more of like a pullback, if you will. And we can kind of repeat the same process back here from like, February 2020, or 2022, sorry, which still led to a major outbreak within the March timeframe anyway. So I'm watching this closely as well because this is where we will see a lot of interest moving in on stocks and crypto, aka risk assets. Now, I am also watching Ethereum dominance. Ethereum dominance finding some major, support around this, level currently with a nice impulse going as far back as that, January timeframe. If this could go on a nice little tear to around like 20+%, that's going to validate us having a lot of strength within Ethereum, which Ethereum will most likely, like I said, be that step 2 on the path to alt season. This is that phase 2 of Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. We'll most likely see that very, very soon, especially considering the fact that the Ethereum Bitcoin chart looks extremely strong. Looks like we are about to test that 382 level before seeing if we could have that nice impulse above, the 618, which will lead us to the current all-time high on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Now, all while I'm talking about this, let's talk about some altcoins. So XRP, I'm going to bring up XRP as the first major one. So I told you guys, watch for corrections along the board with altcoins as we were waiting for that pullback on Bitcoin. And check out the level that XRP actually, wicked down to, 77.5 cents. Now, not only is this major support, but check out the level that we, breached back here in August before we went on that nice move to $1.40. Same exact support level. Pretty funny. Now, I am watching XRP closely to see if we could hit that 92-cent zone to really kind of test that major, resistance point. Also, XLM, I am watching XLM as well because, again, major resistance. This actually didn't fall too hard. I mean, this actually held this level pretty strong, I should say. But you do see currently us trying to come down and test that moving average on the RSI. Volume diminished greatly. If we could really break over 24 cents here, that's going to tell us that we're going to see a test of the 200-day EMA up at around 25.7, which is almost 25.5 cents. And if we could break over that, like I said, that will lead us on that nice major impulse to the upside, similar to what we did see back here during November of 2020, which led us to that nice run to around roughly 80 cents. So watching XLM closely as well. Hbar, I'm watching Hbar closely. I'm watching a lot of their Bitcoin pairs, but of course on the USD pair, we are seeing major support being tested. They're really tightening on these charts. Like Hbar is a very tight chart right now compared to most because it is between a significant support and resistance zone, and it's nearing that next major breakout point. Now, the thing that I'm watching with Hbar, like I said with my other assets, is that I am watching the Bitcoin price chart. Again, a lot of these are in a very tightening, sort of chart basis, waiting for that next major impulsive move. And the Bitcoin price chart for Hbar is the one that I'm watching closely because this actually has a significant area to really kind of breach up here at around like 3,600 to about 3,800 sats. I'm watching Hbar closely if we could see that next major breakout event. And of course, last but not least, the altcoin of all altcoins right now that everyone is really kind of watching, ZIL. So ZIL yesterday went on a massive run. I mean, we went to around 22 cents almost exact, almost tested the all-time highs. This is telling us, what to expect from a lot of our altcoins. Now, again, is this an overbought territory? 100%. The RSI is at 88.5, by the way. But this is most likely going to come down and test around 12 cents to 14 cents. That's where I would be a buyer for ZIL if you wanted to buy it. But I do think that this is the area where we really kind of watch for a major retest of support. So this is like the golden area where you do want to buy in if you did, want to buy ZIL. This is a major demand zone, by the way. This is where we kind of wicked off of before we had that nice move to the all-time high. This, if we can, try to, really, I would say if we could get a nice reaction off of this area where we do come down, so we'll just go off of the top of this candle. So if we can kind of come down and test this major support zone, which would be at like around 12 cents, and we finally break above the, the topping point, the major all-time high, we will lead the race to around 40 cents plus very quickly. This is why I say watch these levels closely, because even at 12 cents, right, that's nearly a 4x. And, when we're talking about the potential here for our ROI, I've always said ZIL is my $1 plus asset. This is going to, in my opinion, $1 if we can continue the momentum that we have been seeing throughout the market. Now, of course, like I said with my other altcoins, we are watching the Bitcoin chart so that we could see a move similar to this. This chart has been extremely bullish. I mean, look at we broke already over the all-time high. We actually kind of changed this fib level now. But look at the level that we're kind of right below. We're hitting some resistance at around the 786, kind of rejecting off of it. Most likely we'll come down, test that, 618, currently level. Now, with this in mind, we can come down as low as this bottom figure 382 before we do go on another run. But ultimately, ZIL was the one that really showed us exactly what to expect with a lot of our altcoins going forward. I am still watching the resistance zone on the 702. For the total two. I think that this is the 702. Yeah, 702, the 1.21 trillion dollar level. I'm still watching this level for a major breakout event. And yeah, I seriously do see this going to like 3 to possibly even like we could go as high as $8 trillion easily. Because the last fib outreach here, here's the 4618 at around 7.75. Almost $8 trillion. And here's the topping point, the last fib outreach at around $13.5 trillion for the altcoin market. That is absolutely massive. So with that being said, I hope that kind of gives you guys a little bit of a breakdown on the market. I do greatly appreciate you guys watching the video. If you did watch this far and you did enjoy the video, definitely hit that like, subscribe to notifications on button. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. If you guys do want more content like my exit plans, trading indicators, stuff like that, go check out NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.